Hello and welcome to the newest episode of Format Plus, coming straight from Novi Sad. I am Tint and this is Konstantina.
Hello.
Hello. And we'll improvise talking to each other this day.
Yes.
So I have no idea what we're going to do now. Maybe you can start remind me of projects that will be interesting to
No,
speak.
I want you to tell me who are you and
Who am I?
Yes.
You know who I am.
I want you to tell me. I want to hear it.
So my name is Manolis Angelakis, or Angelakis in Greek,
Yes.
and I'm a second generation screen printer coming from Athens, Greece. And you are?
You say who am I?
And also, I will say.
Yes.
Okay, and you are Konstantina Politimi Zerdeva Brikori.
Yes.
Like it's not a Spanish name, it's Greek name, and you also hail from Athens, Greece. You're a second generation graphic designer and a first generation calligrapher.
Perfect. Spot.
Yes, and we also don't have Chrysanthos with us, which is the third part of our team. And yeah,
Yes.
what else?
Your father.
Yes, my father. Yes, we didn't mention that. Original printer and first generation printer.
What do we like to do?
We like to screen print shit and make noise.
With friends also,
Yes.
inviting friends.
Okay, let's say like 60 or 70% of our work is mostly commission based. We have to pay the rent, and then like 20% is more our own, or 50 to 50% more of our personal projects, and another 15% collaborations with friends and artists and in general.
And what we enjoy the most?
Printing for our own and printing for other artist collaborations, but we don't shy away from printing commission-based project, because it makes us better printers and better artists in general.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what I wanted to hear.
Yes, I know what you want.
So, tell me one of our favorite projects printing with other people.
They're all our children, so
Yes.
it's everything. Every children is your favorite. I couldn't say that it's not our favorite. It has to do with, I think, also with the people we work together. How much they also wanted for a project to be loved and really, blossom. So I would say that printing with other artists and doing together concept and printing, it's always better. Not better, has always more things to different things, I would say, to gain than printing, let's say, 100 t-shirts with one color, one side, and just a simple logo. That's not to say you don't learn things by, simple projects.
I liked a lot open afternoons that we used to do.
Yes, we're gonna change the name.
Yes,
we're gonna make them.
No, it's not a change of name. It's a bigger umbrella.
Yes.
That
So
includes Open
yes,
Fridays.
We always doing
that, yes.
open workshops and open days with friends, and since ever, I think. And we, before the pandemic, we gave it a name, the first name, so it was Open Fridays, and every first Friday of every month we invited a friend to print with us and try things that he would never try by himself, and we would help me in
mostly designing by hand.
Yes, but
not all
it
the time.
happened to be
yes.
like that because everyone was hand crafty. But after the pandemic,
we did also with Stefanos,
Andreadis,
yes. The printing with glue.
He also designed the things directly.
He did it by
yes,
yes,
yes.
I
Like on Rizocharto. Yes.
And so
it was also
yes.
Taxis and Vasily Georgiou and I can't remember her name. From Belgium. Vereniki.
Yes.
Gregor. Sorry, Vereniki.
Gregor.
Yes, Gregor.
For sure.
For sure.
So I liked a lot. We did it here also in this conference of the
What? Open
The
days?
printing with glue.
Ah, yes, yes. Ah,
I
this
like this
project with
project,
Stefanos. Yes, yes. This is always impressive, I think, for everyone to print with glue and then just try to glue everything, anything. So we usually print glue and apply silver, gold, copper, or metal leaf, real leaf. And with Stefanos, we had an idea of printing on the covers of newspapers, symbolically illustrated themes by Stefanos that then we would apply gold foil on a piece of newspaper. So it was kind of an antithesis of materials and themes. So, maybe a German newspaper cover would say something about immigration, and then Stefanos would print something, would design, and we would print something like
A barrier?
a barricade, yeah,
Yes.
like when they have classes with the police, and then it was turned into gold, and then it was like very, very impressive. And
really
yes, we haven't finished that project. We will
should,
do it again. He's buying newspapers like non-stop. We're gonna come back and print the newspapers.
I am
Yeah.
expecting him.
I think it also got some merit into the Greek Design Awards last
Really?
year. Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm sure he got a merit
Oh,
for
we
that.
weren't there.
What?
We weren't there to see it.
It doesn't matter. It
I
got a
didn't
merit.
know it. I just
Yes,
learned
yes,
it.
Yes.
Nice.
You didn't know?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. Let's fight now.
What do you want to do?
What?
We always fight.
Yes,
Yes.
that's our thing. So, I really, and let's say about another Stefanos also.
We'll get all the Stefanos.
Yes, let's talk about our
We will speak
Stefanos
about Stefanos.
of our lives.
So there is Stefanos Andreadis,
Yes.
represent. There is Stefanos Rokos, a very good friend and a wonderful artist. Stefanos Papadimos.
Yes.
I'm sure we forget.
Stefanos Veis from
Stefanos Veis. Yes.
from Kakopesa.
Everyone is like
Stefanos.
You usually know that in Greece they're called John or George or something
But
like that.
probably our alternative artist name is Stefanos.
Stefanos. So yes,
I
we
don't
know like which Stefanos. So we call Stefanos Rokos Stefaneiros.
Yes. So what
Yes.
about Stefaneiros?
Stefaneiros. Stefaneiros is like great artist and a wonderful friend, and our collaboration almost never got the chance to get off the ground, because the first time we talked, he said like, I love your work and I want to meet to speak about the project. And I said, yeah, sure, for sure, come, let's say Friday. And then I had to do something, and I had to leave, and I said to my dad, like, we work together with Dad and you, and I said, Stefanos, I'm sorry, my dad will take over. And Dad, are you available? Yes. And when Stefanos comes, he says, hello, I'm Stefanos Rokos, and I want to do, like, I'm a painter, and I wanted to transfer my paintings into silkscreen. And my dad's like, no, fuck this, we don't do that. Silence. Because, like, usually when Greek artists come into the studio to print their
Or at
artworks,
least when they used to come.
yes, more
So
and more
things
they
are
know
changing.
we don't do this shit, and they come prepared. But usually when they did show up, and sometimes now they come with a flash stick, USB stick, or scanned things or photographed, and they say, look, you be the photocopy, and I will press print, and you will shed like 50, 100 prints, and I'm like, no, we cannot do that. So my father was like, no, we don't do that, and Stefanos was like, okay, so what do you do? We work with the artist, we teach him how to be a printer, and he teaches us how to be artists. And Stefanos was like, yes, this is exactly what I want. And when I got back, like, I talked to my dad and said, so Dad, like, what do you think of Stefanos? He's like, he's a great guy, I love this guy. So yes, and from the very first
That
collaboration.
was how many years ago? 2010? No, maybe
14,
14? Okay.
15.
Maybe. Yes, 14 years.
First, we worked with his brother, Dimitris Rokos, like
Another
in 2000.
great illustrator that doesn't work
This
as much in
this family has like art in their veins,
Yes.
like your mother, their mother and their father, like beautiful
Artists,
sculptures and
engravings
fuck,
and
it's like it's truly
So,
blessed. And
after so many years,
yeah,
we still work with him.
But it's somehow part of the family, I would say. So he gave us that feeling that we create with him. We always have that feeling, but when the collaborator comes and invites you in that situation, it's always, you feel more welcomed. So from the very first time we worked together, he was open to...
He gives us freedom,
Yes.
and he lets space for new ideas, and he incorporates these ideas, and we both take his art a step further.
Yes, yes, and I believe this is the way to go, because not only it gives character and personality to the artworks, it also learns more as an artist and give us more things to try in the next project. So one project is level up from the other project. He is not like this artist like, okay, let's do something that we know very good and recreate this every time. What?
I thought, what if he's just started talking Greek? He had to, the guy and had to put subtitles in everything. That's intrusive thinking. So, okay, let's go a bit back.
How back?
Like 40 years back.
40 years back.
Yes.
I'm not, you want to tell my age? I'm 41, bitch. What?
So, or 50 years back.
50?
Yes.
50?
Yes.
I wasn't born in 50.
Exactly, tell me.
What? So, what?
About your father, the studio, how you started.
I was born there, so the studio is almost the same age like me. So I was born there. I was born in the dark room, like my mother was breastfeeding me with Pantone colors, and my dad was like singing lullabies while working. And I probably spent more time there than everywhere else combined. Maybe half my home, half the studio, and everything else. So
afternoons after school, working, like
yes, child labor, and I didn't love it. You know that. I didn't. I wasn't like hating it, but it wasn't. It was that
work.
It wasn't. Yeah.
It wasn't your future.
Yes.
Self, your future job. It was something that you just had to do.
It didn't have any I think, interest.
Artistic interest.
Yes. You've seen Karate Kid, right?
Yes.
You know, it's like I was like Daniel LaRusso, like walks on, walks off, and I didn't know what to do.
And then the Cobra Kai, the girl, the daughter. I'm the new generation printer. That's more relevant now.
You're most like the son that he doesn't.
No! What the? No, wait!
Okay. Yes, and you're the new generation, of course.
Okay, cool. So you...
yes, I was doing chores all day, like taking the print
Kai.
and watching if it's print correct and cleaning.
Wax off.
Yes. But I didn't know how to do that. But somehow I knew how to print afterwards. After like so many years, like doing the same shit every day, I was like karateka. I was like this printer that had this muscle memory from many years of doing this thing and didn't know how to do it. And not only that, it also defined me as a designer, printer, and human person in general. Like not being shy away from work. Like I can work like many hours straight, and
That's true.
I don't give a shit. Let's do it.
In the end of the day, at the end of the day is maybe 8 or 9 o'clock in the night.
No, but yesterday it was like one of the first times you were more energetic than me. I was like dead, like doing the presentation,
true,
and you
pushed
through.
I thought one of the first time I was more energetic.
Thank you for that.
So back to what you told
I was like a very small young boy, like very chubby,
yes,
and doing the tours and cleaning screens and taking the prints for the rack, and I was checking them out.
You were like, what I'm doing with my life? Maybe I should study
design.
No,
No. Actually, I have no idea what I want to do. So my dad comes home one day and said, "So you finished high school, so what do you want to do?" I'm like, don't know, maybe I will go to the UK and study. And he goes like, with what money are you gonna go there? Like, I don't
Greece
know.
crisis.
No, it wasn't like the Greek crisis, but it was the tint crisis. Like, so with what money are you gonna go to study? I'm like, I haven't really think about it. And he comes, so listen, there is this graphic design school. We can afford to send you there, because I was like a lousy student. Actually, I have dyslexia, which
not appreciated in Greece.
And it wasn't. I could give exams without writing. I could give verbal exams, but somehow it was never diagnosed, and we never did that. So I was the lousy student. So I didn't get through my exams. So I couldn't study in a public school. And my dad says, listen, there's this graphic design school, so we can afford to send you there at the beginning, so just go there for some months, and if you like it, just do it. And I think I studied in Vakalo School of Art, and it really gave me, I think the most important thing it gave me is to think for the project before starting the project, like doing research and concepting, and then try to form your ideas into actions. And then I finished the school, and I did I think like a couple of job interviews. I did some projects, freelance project.
I like your design project also.
Yes, but I'm not cut out for a designer.
You don't like clients.
I like clients.
Design clients.
I like everyone, but I don't like. At least when I was trying to be a designer, I didn't like the idea of have to explain again and again and again to the client, to the wife of the client, to the mother of the client, to the child of the client, to the friend of the client, what the idea is and why we should do it, and this pushed me away. And also the market was not the same at all, like when I started. So also I was more into cinema and video art, and I appreciate this field. I worked as a.
You did some works as a.
Yes. I was a help assistant in set designs in movies, and I worked with under Olga Leontiadou.
Interesting job.
I really loved that. I really loved that period, but then again, it wasn't for me as well. So I said at some point, yeah, let's stay in the studio and see what happens. And yeah, crisis mode, no money, no job, no girlfriend, no nothing.
I was after crisis.
Yes.
On crisis.
2015
we met each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't remember?
Let's not say that in front of the camera.
And I think it was when I started to be aware of this is probably my path from now on. I saw in Greek comics festival called Vavel. I think it was probably the last one in Gazi, in Technopolis.
And what about Vavel?
Yes, it was an exhibition with Chuck Berry's silkscreen.
And also, what was Vavel? Like, it was a big festival that.
It was a Greek comics festival.
Yes, but it was Like the only artsy.
No, it wasn't the only artsy, but it was one of the oldest and one of the openest things that they have.
Inspired the whole community.
Of course.
We didn't have. I didn't know. I have only heard it, but back then we didn't have much to see and go and yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a bit important of the thing.
People could meet for the very first time there,
meet each other,
or have
no
a date
Facebook.
every year. It was not Facebook, but it was DeviantArt
and
maybe MySpace at the time. And people didn't post photos of themselves, no selfies, only avatars and nicknames. So it's like, you are Tint, and yes, you're Zapacat, and yes, nice to meet you, and you're actually a guy, or you're a girl. Nobody knew back then, and it was like you were very shy to say, I'm going to meet someone I met on the internet. It's like now you have Tinder and shit, and everyone knows everyone before they meet, but back then it was like very interesting.
So you went to Wawel and you saw
and
Chuck
there was
Sperry?
this exhibition with posters by Chuck Sperry, and it was like beautiful.
Who is Chuck Sperry?
Chuck Sperry is a very famous American illustrator and rock poster artist. He's also printing his own prints, but he does like 20, 50, 15, 25 colors in every
I didn't. Wow.
yes. I think he starts from 8 and above.
We stop at when everyone stops at 8. Yeah. He starts.
And I don't know if he still has, but he was working in an old firehouse.
Where? Do you remember?
I don't really know. Yeah, but it's like his studio it was an old firehouse. Nice. So it was like beautiful. And I saw the exhibition.
It was like silk screens, all
of them.
Oh, nice.
Big
like 7100.
Weird shapes. It wasn't like
weird shapes. Oh.
Yeah, it was like.
Yes, it's like a clepsydra. No? Say it in Greek.
Παραλληλόγραμμο, τραπέζιο. Όχι παραλληλόγραμμο, τραπέζιο κάπως ήταν κάποια φορμάτ. Αλλά δεν έχει σημασία.
Anyway, okay, it's just like.
So I was watching the exhibition, and at some point this guy comes inside, and he looked not Greek. And he sits on a table, and from the organization a girl comes, and he's sitting there, and I realized that this is an artist, and he's here to sign the posters or the autographs or whatever. And
until then you didn't work with you were just worked, you helped at the studio.
No money, no job.
But you just helped in the studio. You didn't do.
I've started doing my own things. Just I think I've done the collaboration with THS. I've done that collaboration at that time. THS, the German.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
No. This is Attack.
Attack, sorry, yes.
THS was one of my then idols. Not then, still is idol.
Which one?
Doesn't matter, I will tell you later.
Okay.
It's the. I don't think if you've seen that.
What?
Maybe you haven't seen that.
What?
I've done. Half of the print was mine and half of the print was him, and I used different colors, 2 colors, and he I choose colors and papers, and every print was different, and I shipped it to him, and it was the first time I started selling my own things, and I was like €7 per print, and I sent him the link.
7 €7.
Yes, per print. Every print is different, and I was like, this is my first print. Please buy my first print.
We all start somewhere.
€7.
Like I would buy a coffee with this.
And he's like, I sent him the link, and he's like, why do you sell so cheap? And I said, this is my first print, blah, blah, blah. He didn't answer back, but I saw then he uploaded the project from his point of view, and he was selling something like €120 per print, which was fair, to be honest, but I didn't know at the time. So I understand.
Greek crisis and people.
It wasn't only Greek crisis.
But people in Greece didn't appreciate posters. Like it's a community thing that even if you don't believe in it, it affects you.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yes, it was one of the first times like I've done print with another artist, and I started really to do my first prints.
I've just put so many poses in that Chuck Berry story. But I can't really to hear the finale.
Yeah, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite, but it's really one of the turning points, because I was usually when I meet someone that I really admire, I'm like. I'm fanboys start kicking in, and I'm going like, I had some money with me, and I said, okay, what can I buy with this money? So I found like the cheapest print, and I just bought it to start a conversation with him, and I was like,
do you remember how much did the cheapest cost?
I think I had a 50 with me.
50
euros.
50 or 15?
50. I have a
50 euros.
50 euro dollar bill. Money.
How much is a 50 euro dollar bill?
In drachmas or?
Or a dinar.
I only had this 50 euro, and I don't know. Maybe I spent the whole thing, or I have no idea. And
you go with a poster like.
I remember going there, and the first thing I says to him, I comes to say is like, "Hi, I'm a printer, but I don't do this." And he's like, "So what?" It's like, "So you're a printer?" Like, what do you mean? And like, he's right. Like, I'm a printer. It's like. Doesn't matter like if I'm good, bad, or I've done this or that. It's like I'm one of us. It's like I'm one of them. So I start to belong somewhere. And we had a really nice conversation with him. And funny story. This not funny story, but it comes full circle. After so many years that we start talking in Instagram, and he remembered me and said maybe we would like to work together. I'm like, yes, please. It's like, wow. It's like, so you're a printer, and after so many years we will work together, and
you're an Instagram, not an Instagram, a social media guy, yeah? DeviantArt, Facebook, Instagram,
yes,
like MySpace.
Yes, but I use it not to promote. I use it as a journal for me, and the things I want to remember, or I want to.
I know that you always go back to see. Okay, when we did that.
I don't really care if someone else see it. It's my own journal, and from the very beginning it was like that. Like, I don't try to make it nice. And you remember the article that was written about stagecraft and
what is stagecraft?
It's an article that was written in a publication about printing, and it was it was telling about it had a short paragraph about me, how I use the social media craft stage as to promote my work. And as he asked me, I told him like, it may looks like I'm being this hipster promotional
You're a
guy.
Bit of a hipster. Just a
yes,
bit.
Look at my haircut, but it's as a facade. Soter does the same thing. He's like this happy-go-lucky artist, but he's like not that in his real life. So it's what you project, but it's not about. You do this as in your everyday life. So why not do it in your art life? So yeah, I may project the idea that I can do everything, but every project, like, can I make it? What if anything goes wrong? And then you have to push through and do it, and so, shut up and swim.
So after the exhibition, back to Chuck Berry,
yes,
after Wawel,
yes.
What happened with you?
I
You just started.
Put my
working.
foot on the gas and
did everything.
And haven't taken it off since. It's like every day I'm thinking of printing, and you know that as well. Like we live together. You always complain about coming back home late and working all day. No weekends, no nothing. We fight about going on holidays, and I'm saying we should work and everything. you know my life. Okay, you know that it's like that. But you know also that I find meaning in all of this. I find like this is in my life, and Silkscreen is also in part of everyday's life in many people, and like revolutions have Silkscreen, art has Silkscreen, industry have Silkscreen, so it's very fascinating to learn every day something new, and Silkscreen has one fit in industry and the other fit in arts, and keeps evolving, so it's you can work one day printing walls on a museum, and the next day doing printing on pancakes with chocolate, and the other day you should do something very specific like printing a logo very clear with visible and
or be like a clown entertainer printer on the events and print on a human skin like with body paint inks. We are printers, we are artists, we are entertainers.
We do child birthdays, christenings, whatever you want, we do that.
Oh, cheap thrills, and tell me about one of your best cheap thrills.
I like fluorescent colors and bling.
I would say the card.
The card?
Yes, the
card that changes.
Our business card.
The card that changes color through thermoreactive.
This is a nice cheap thrill.
Yes, you know, all of the aspects of Silkscreen has to do with let's say old magician, like there is suddenly this wow effect, yes. Which is actually, you can really explain it very easily. It's nothing magic about it. It's just a reaction, and you have the Prestige, the movie by Christopher Nolan. It's actually a gimmick. So there's this ink, which is a very expensive ink that you order what specific in what temperature it changes color, from what color to what color it changes,
if it changes back or not,
or the effect is reversible or not, and I can't remember what was the first project trying to do that, but somehow that ink came into our hands, and we decided.
With Stavros, maybe the cards with a red ink, not that good of an ink.
Phase.
Yes, phase.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do that?
We didn't do
but
that.
But maybe this,
I think
this was the first time?
Can't remember.
No, maybe our...
We talked about it, but we never done it.
But we
never mind.
Okay.
I think it's...
Maybe before that you just took the inks from your... you found the inks and you just tried them.
Yes.
And you had some stuff sewn, like a lot of years back.
Can't really remember, but I don't think it matters.
But I think you didn't explain well the effect.
We will send the photos.
Okay.
The photos.
Insert video.
Yes. It's like a card that when you touch it and your temperature goes from your hand to the card, it's black, and the effect of the ink disappears with heat. It's thermoreactive ink, thermoconductive ink. So when the temperature of your hand goes into the card, the black color of the card disappears, and the information appears underneath. And this is a very magic, like cheap thrill, and everyone's like, "Wow!"
But it's very impressive. That's why I like it.
Yes. Also, the other card that changes, photo. It's light sensitive. Not it changes from transparent color into blue color with the light, daylight, and this is very impressive as well. But that's the thing, that we don't make these things, we buy these things. The idea and the knowledge to print these things, it's what matters in our line of work.
But you ended up there to print these kind of things because you experiment. It's not only about this, it's about the honey, the chocolate, as we said, the body painting.
Yes.
We and you experiment with printing with whatever you can, like snow.
This year we printed with snow and they ate the snow. Yes.
In Athens never snows, and they did.
Everybody was having fun, and we were out printing with the snow.
We were having fun, of
Afterwards,
course.
like, but we
were having fun printing also.
Yes, but the idea was like, let's go do something with the snow for a video, and not enjoy the snow.
Made a colored
we put
snow.
Food dye on the.
Don't reveal the secret.
Why?
We should say to people that you just eat ink.
That's another thing. We don't shy away from giving
course.
information to other people and just make fun of
we have some good neighbors.
Yes, Fuzzing represent. Hail from Greece. Yes.
Well, who are they?
It's Tsoko, Satso, Orestis, Manura.
But
what?
More about Fuzzing.
What
it's
do you
a
want me to
silkscreen
say?
studio?
Yeah, it's a silkscreen studio. They work mostly with bands, like doing the merchandise, and they're very good printers. I think they're even better than us when it comes to fabric printing. And not I think they are.
Yes, they are. Yes. That's what I think also.
Yes. But we have a very nice, working relationship with them. That we're also friends. We hang out for beers. We exchange information. We exchange projects, and they help us. We help them. And
they come to our studio to help them with some work. We come to their studio to help them.
If we have any questions, we ask them. If they have any questions, they ask us. So
they're super cool guys.
I think all printers should be like this, and
I think it's most are not.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Like
Squeegee was.
Really nice guy. We just met him.
Yes,
and
it feels like we knew him. Like
it's like we just went out one night.
Yes,
and we talked like we knew each other.
I think it's. The only profession comes close to printing. It's musicians. It's music. Like musicians does the same thing. Like they you know this, you know that. Let's jam together. Yeah.
Funny thing, the Fuzzing are musicians also. Yes.
Most of the new crews in Athens comes from music scene.
Maybe because they have
Spiral and Hard Bomb. Hard Bomb and Pavlos, Spiral. Image.
Spiral, sorry.
Yes. And
how?
Image, Spiral, they change name every couple of years.
I like Spiral, they should keep Spiral. Yes.
But also they're like Lupes and KPS Studio,
yes, KPS,
Silk Bastards.
They do residencies.
Yeah,
mostly.
They do.
Silkscreen residencies. It's a girl.
We haven't really. They're popping up every year, and it's very beautiful.
She's a girl from UK.
Yeah.
And that came to Athens like
Simone from Cyprus,
really
in
good
Toto.
Printer.
Yes. And
she does silkscreens, she does lithography.
Yanakoulias.
Yes, Dimitris.
And Soul Trades again from Patras, and you know we love it that it's blossoming.
Like most of these studios are like the last 7 years, 8.
Let's say 10.
Let's say 10.
What doesn't matter?
Yeah,
eternity.
No, I'm just saying that
art will survive, artists won't.
This.
You're wearing a really beautiful blouse. Like.
Thank you. I don't know
how
if you can
do we translate it? Like. Yes, it's a song by our friend Panagiotis Fantasis, and
we printed it.
It says.
Hit me like a.
Hit me. Hit me. It's like hit me like high voltage in the dance floor. Yes, and he invited us to print on sweatshirts. We discussing ideas and we came up with printing with reflective ink that is like the same ink for security reasons. When lights hit it, it reflects the light back, and it's
like
very
the signs on the street. Yes, when you go with the
that's a thing you can use. You can use inks that was made for other industry use and bring them back to
that's
art.
How silk screen is still alive.
Yes. Not only that, it's not only still alive, it's thriving.
It's thriving.
Yes.
But also because if it's
okay,
not that
okay, let's say first man. Yes, but we'll
fuck
say that on the
Gutenberg.
States. Yes, actually, silk screen is before Gutenberg. If we can say that it's the first man who put his hand on a cave wall and chew some see some flowers and make ink in his mouth and just blew ink, and then we left his mark in space and time, and then comes, you know, Fiji Island with banana leaves as screens and putting little holes in there and then blowing the blue again the ink, and then comes Chinese that with human hair attached on a metal or not metal wooden frame. They attached stencils and they did pattern printing, and then Japanese came with the silk. That's the term silk screen.
it's not silk anymore.
It's not silk anymore, and it's always the same thing in Greece, like silk screen, like you're printing on silk. Like
Not exactly.
Not exactly, but we can. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to answer these questions, but it's always fun. They think of something completely different, and then like
This name is Paraplanetiko?
it's misguiding.
Yes, misguiding.
And flashback, like it
Flash
was
forward.
flashback.
Ah,
So we stopped in Japan and
okay,
silk,
I'm sorry.
and then
Flash
like,
forward. Ah,
okay,
we go.
let's flash forward.
Well,
So
where are we going now?
silk screen was about knowing who the enemy or the friend is.
Okay.
So it's like they go to war. So this is with us, and this is not with us. This is something you can like. It sells merchandise, and this does something else. It's about identity. It's about a society involved, an industry involved. Silk screen was there for decorative use, and knows who was with us or against us.
Like making
Signs and tapestries and
on the war with the
banner and shields.
seals.
Yes, the Crusades made
Like
silk
to
screens
say, we are
on the
that guys and you are that guys and let's fight now.
and at some point, let's say flash forward like 2020s, the crash, the depression, and after when they start to gain the feedback in the States, they started the Work Project Administration, which introduced silk screen to artists, which were tasked to make propaganda posters for going out again, traveling, watching theater, public safety, and artists were introduced to the medium, so they could produce more easily, more prints about it. And this was, I think, I would say that pop artists were introduced to that from the Work Project Administration. They didn't came up with the idea. Like, okay, I'm not a historian of screen printing. You can correct me as much as you want. Like,
please, if it has comments where
yes,
the thing is uploaded,
where
the thing is uploaded, write on the comments below.
So yes, I think pop artists were introduced from the Work Project Administration to silk screen, and they use it very nicely, I would say, to their art form. But also in the 60s, there was May of '68 with students from the School of Fine Arts in Paris working with silk screen and with workers to make propaganda posters for their cause, and were squatting the Fine Arts School, and they were fighting every day and went back and printing posters and putting it up there. And it's the only historical team that never signed as a team, as a whole team, and never
as a name.
Yes, the Atelier Populaire, like not Manolis, not Constantina, not nothing. So this is unique, I think, in history. And also the same decade was like Cuba had their own bootleg material printed in screen print about movies, and somehow this psychedelic scene again in the 60s, in the other side of the States, like with the Big Five of illustration, Stanley Mouse, and my favorite, Victor Moscoso.
Moscoso,
yes.
Ah, please,
Yeah,
say
please.
that story. It's really funny.
Yes, so and, it's really difficult to find things to in the history of silk screen, but when you do, it's really impressive. So there's this artist still alive. It's Victor Moscoso. It's made.
Wait.
What?
We believe error is superior to art.
Yes, but fuck that. We'll tell that.
This relates to what you're going to say.
Yes, we say that quote, error is superior to art, and it means that when you fuck up, it's always better because you learn things by mistake, and it's better than learning things by reading a manual.
You learn more when you do mistakes, or you're not afraid to do mistakes, than trying to do everything perfectly each time.
Yeah.
So
at one point I was researching, and I found this video by Victor Moscoso, interviewing Victor Moscoso, and he had this poster was
really
printed.
Cool.
Yes, was printed with 3 colors like cyan, magenta, yellow, or maybe
red, green, blue.
Red, green, blue. We'll send
we'll insert video.
Insert video here. Yes. And it's like this figure have her hands like this, and then this, and then this, with different colors overlapping each other. And it was he said that they were designing things that would have to attract the eye from across the street. They didn't want to do visible graphics. They wanted to be as messy as possible. So you have to go from across the street to go there and try to understand what was written. And also in their parties there were like different lights and drugs, and everything was completely an experience. Their posters.
3 colors?
3 colors of
3 layers?
Yes.
3 images, one on top of the other, with the man having his hands in a figure,
yeah.
Maybe, yes, having its hands, their hands in its place.
Like exercise, like flying.
Exercise,
yeah,
yes.
but it was like one image if you watch it from as a poster. And he says that at some point, like, the telephone rings and
it was Christmas?
It was Christmas, and his telephone rings, and the guy comes and says, "Man, your poster is moving." And he's like, "Oh my God," he's high. He's like,
drugs.
"What the fuck? What the fuck is he telling about?" And he says, "Listen, it's Christmas. I have the poster under the Christmas lights, and as soon as the light hits, like when red hits, it vanishes the red from the poster. So where green hits, it vanishes the green, and then when blue hits, vanishes the blue. So the poster is actually moving. So because it's
like flying,
like
maybe.
flying." and then he comes up and
wow,
says,
your poster is moving. Like maybe.
And then Victor Moscoso says, "First it was an accident. Then it was by design." Yes, you're right. Like this little moments like this, you realize that you may think that you made a breakthrough, that fuck, no, someone else did it before you, and maybe someone else did it before Victor, or it doesn't really matter even if you did it first.
It doesn't matter. Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's like it's how you share it, and people can do it after you.
You did a cool poster and a cool vinyl.
Yes, for 1,000 mods.
Cover,
1,
yes, for around 1,000 mods.
Yes. It was a tribute actually to Victor Moscoso.
Yes, a tribute.
Yes, Youth of the Sun. And they let us do whatever we wanted,
yes.
So yes.
Super nice guys.
Yes.
We've become friends also.
They also play frequently in
Serbia?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think maybe
they had
that
a
tour, maybe they will come here. I don't know. Yeah.
If you know, if you know 1,000 mods, write in the comments below.
Yeah,
I'm starting my career as a YouTuber.
I told you should start that so many years, but you were like, oh,
He tells me to make a channel that I keep trying like stuff and
break shit
because I always break stuff.
Because you're clumsy.
I'm very clumsy.
Watch the cameras.
I hope everything survives after we leave. And
yes, let's go. Hello. Yeah, continue.
Yes, so and he tells me to make a channel that has the seal of Konstantinos approval. If a thing survives, it's good to go. Yeah.
Konstantina will survive. Stuff won't.
Maybe we can call it this way. Konstantina will survive, stuff won't.
Yes, and it's things like we do brought us here today to speak in Novi Sad, and it's like, what else you can do? Like, you can be a musician and travel, or you can be a printer like,
and travel.
and travel. It's like, it's almost like being a rock star without being a rock star. It's
Yes.
funny. Nobody recognizes you. Nobody listens to you. But you travel there.
Yes, and some people come to listen to you, and you do workshops,
Yes.
and the people may be interested, but still no one recognizes you, and TV doesn't talk about you.
We also did a nice print here with Squeegee Printeria and Bojan, and it was very like great working with us, and Dusan and Ingrid and Anna and you, of course, and
Two colors, two layers.
Who designed the poster?
Who designed the poster, Manolis?
We did.
I did.
Yes,
No,
okay.
we did.
Yes, so it
Mostly
it
me,
was 2 layers.
but,
It was
we
with the concept of echo, and it was like circles that you glitched. You can speak about the project. Speak.
Ομόκεντρος.
Insert translation here.
Ομόκεντρος. It will be a tough
They will
edit.
hate us.
Yes, they will hate us for sure.
Fucking Greeks, guy.
We are all alone in here, just saying. We are having fun. So it was like circles with the same center. We printed it like we did it digitally, and then we printed it, and we scanned it with a scanner, with a slow scanner, and we moved the circles and had a really interesting pattern after that. And we also printed the word echo, and
the same way.
With a sans serif bold font, maybe Futura, I'm not sure, I can't remember. And we just glitched and played around with it as well.
On the scanner.
On the scanner, and we combined those two stuff. And yes, the first layer was white on black paper. Squeegee did everything, exposed the screens. He did the super good job. Did the preparation, cutted the paper, found the paper, brought the paper. He did a really good job, and we just
thank you, Bojan.
And we came here as rock stars, as Manuel said. We just and we had really fun this last Saturday, and we printed first color white, but it was we also played during printing.
Whose idea was that?
Whose idea was that, Manolis?
Mine.
My idea. Do you remember?
Παντόφλα το βράδυ, παντόφλα. How they say παντόφλα in Serbia. I will get like in the doghouse tonight, outside in the cold. Okay, yes.
So
I think we should wrap up, like
yes.
because
Wait, just say about this project, and we will wrap up. Wait. So we printed in this circle design in multiple places in the page, and we put a lot of papers in the same time, and then we let them dry, and we printed the word echo in different spots with glue, and then we put silver foil on top. It was a super cool experience, and we had a lot of fun. Today you have a speech also.
Yes, I want to find the little paragraph to close our podcast, our interview, and about the internal conflict of the printer. You remember?
Yes.
but I
Yes.
can't seem to find it. But
Wow.
we can send the
Yes. So in
insert-
the end, insert the black page with a white serif
It's a beautiful
font
paragraph in a manual
saying
of
about the internal conflict of the printer.
yeah, it's a beautiful paragraph in the
Nice.
manual of the 1960s that speaks about what it is to be a printer, I think. And I'm trying to find it to read it, but I think it's better if we insert it.
Yes, we'll insert it.
Yeah. So that's it. I'd like to thank you for helping me out in this.
I'd like to
interview.
thank you for helping me
Yeah.
out in this interview as well. Thank
Let's
you,
thank
Mamaris.
PDP team and Squeegee, Printaria, and all the beautiful people.
Thank you,
in
Serbia.
Thank you, Serbia.
Uh,
Vale.
Hvala.
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 Vale.
Hvala.
Hvala. And Mir,
Mir. Lubev.
Lubev i Sito Stampa.
Sito Stampa.
Terrible. Thank you, man. Yes, yes.